Hey everyone, it's Tattooed Simmer. It's the first time you're hearing me on my channel. I decided to start doing voiceovers this year, and I decided why not start with my Tiny Town save file. So this is the first build that I shared for it. It's not a starter home. It's I think it ends up being like 96 tiles tiny home. So with all of these homes, they're all renditions of or different sizes of the tiny homes. So 32 tiles, 64 tiles, or 100 tiles. None of them are bigger than that. This one, I really struggled with the roof on it. I was really trying to get a hatched roof with a flat center, and I didn't really know how about doing that. I also wanted like a gable in the front, but I'm pretty sure I ended up deleting that. So if you think that I don't struggle with roofs still, you're wrong, because I definitely do still struggle with them, as you can see. It takes me a really, really long time to figure out exactly how I want the roof to look in this video. I go through multiple different ways of having the roof before I finally settle on something. I decided to start this save file after I was gifted Tiny Living for the PC. So I'm redoing every base game world with just the base game and Tiny Living. So all of these speed builds will just be using the base game and Tiny Living. Um, all of my builds are built on PlayStation 5. I don't use a keyboard either. I still use just a controller because I've always been a console gamer. I just don't really use computers. Like even in my real job, I just would prefer to have a controller in my hands. So it's taken me a while to figure out all the controls and everything like that, but I'm definitely a lot faster on the console than the PC. I've tried playing on PC recently and I struggle. I just use it for speed builds and to be able to upload the save file for everyone to download into their game when it's done. After I came back from Louisiana is when I started building for this save file, because Willow Creek is supposed to be based on New Orleans, I believe, so I wanted all the houses to kind of have um, a Louisiana, New Orleans sort of vibe. So that's why you see like the iron fences, the raised foundations, like all the houses, because it's prone to flooding down there, are raised pretty high off the ground. Um, so that's kind of the theme here. I wanted to go with the orange color because I feel like I never use orange. Down there they have crazy colors on their houses, and like they're really, really beautiful. So the inside is just a super, super simple plain square. It's 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. I am kind of all over the place when I build stuff. There's never really a rhyme or a reason. Sometimes obviously I finish the exterior usually first, but usually I'll go through and add more details throughout the whole build. But I like to start with like what the outside and the front is going to look like, and then I work on landscaping, which is what you're seeing now. Landscaping is one of my favorite parts of building. I love plants and flowers and stuff. And I really try to make the front of the house look really nice, just like any other house you would see. Like if you look at the back of houses in real life, they're just nonsense. Like they don't make any sense. The windows are ridiculous. They're not even, but I try my best in this game to make them even so it all looks nice. Also, a trick that I've figured out to make things look more realistic is to put the just plain dirt terrain paint underneath the sidewalks. Kind of makes it look like there's an edge to the sidewalk. It's a little more 3D that way. Same with underneath the plants. If you put any plants down, I try and just put a little bit of dirt terrain paint underneath of them, because usually people don't have like weeds or grass or things like that in their flowers. Like it's just dirt. So I think it makes it look a little bit nicer. Now we're working on the inside. I just want to go with like a basic interior. It's not really anything fancy or specific to the state of Louisiana, I don't really think. Just an average kitchen. I decided to separate it with a wall just so it was, I don't know, a little bit more of like an older home. They have more walls, but if you don't like the wall that I put up into the kitchen, then you can just delete it. Like, it doesn't really, there's not really a purpose for it. I just decided I wanted one. I also really love doing accent walls in homes. I feel like that makes interiors look a lot nicer than just one solid paint everywhere. Especially in like kitchens, it's an easy way to separate kitchens and make them look a little different than the rest of the house, because everyone has like a backsplash or something like that usually in their kitchen. Yeah, I have a lot of fun building tiny homes. That's why I chose to start my first save file with tiny homes. Um, I usually only have like an hour and a half or 2 hours to build at a time because I have a toddler and that's all he really allows me to build at once. And if I finish a build all at once, it's a lot easier than starting one and not finishing it, because then a lot of times I go back and I don't like the way certain things look and I end up spending more time fixing something I already did, and then it's just like, ugh, we're back to the same place. But super excited to share all of these tiny home builds with you guys. Let me know what sort of vibe you would like to see for Newcrest, because I haven't really decided. Obviously, Oasis Springs is going to be like a deserty, modern kind of builds. But Newcrest, I don't really know. Like, I don't really know what kind of style I want for Newcrest so far. So let me know if you have any ideas. I'm open to a bunch of suggestions. If you don't follow me on Instagram, most of my YouTube followers also follow me on Instagram, but if you don't, you can follow along with other pictures, more close-up shots of these builds on Instagram. I share them intermittently between some of the other stuff I'm working on. I'm also working on a SimTunes save file, so I am building a bunch of different cartoon houses and redoing Willow Creek with all of those houses. And I'm about halfway through with that. I've only uploaded a couple of those videos because I didn't start recording or making speed builds when I started doing that save file. So unfortunately all of those won't be uploaded to YouTube, but a few of them will be. But I definitely will have that save file on my YouTube and on my link tree and everything like that, so you guys can download the SimTunes file if you want to. Alright, this build is about finished. I decided to name it a New Orleans Bungalow. Just finished in the backyard. Don't spend a lot of time on backyards, it's not my thing. But I just want to thank you guys for watching and listening to my first voiceover. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with all of the speed builds for this save.